Just trying to hopefully get this thing together. Not sure if this is my first one I'm putting together of these. I'll show you what it is here in a minute. Hopefully I'm putting it together right. We'll see. Come on in. Hello, Ola Joe. How are you, sweetheart? You're almost always one of my first ones to show up. I love that. Thank you. I am just trying to piece this thing together. I don't know if you can see it. Anastasia, hi, honey. I am well. Thank you very much, Ola Joe. If you guys can see that, it's just 4 triangles, has little hearts and moons and stuff, and open holes in it. And you got to kind of piece it together like a puzzle somehow. I'm assuming one of them you have to leave unhooked, because what you do is there's a little spot inside there that you put a candle, like a little tea light candle or electric candle, whatever you want to use, whatever you feel safest with. And so you have to be able to get a candle in and out. So I'm assuming you leave one of them loose. So I am trying to kind of piece together the other 3. Like I said, this is my first one I've put together, so hopefully we get it right. Hello, Joy. How are you, Mrs. G? How are you, darling? I am, our town is actually having their town yard sales towards the last of this month. So I've only got 2 weeks to get stuff together. So me and my husband both are kind of going through some stuff, seeing, because we've both got 2 storage areas in a house full of stuff. So we're trying to see what we want to get rid of. And I'm also going to have a lot of my resin stuff out in that sale. So, Debbie Waters, hello, thank you for coming in. How are you? Amy Ias? We'll just go with Amy, okay? So I am trying to get some of these things done before that sale, because that will, aside from the few that I've sold through here, those will be some of my first main sales. As some of you know, I think you heard Be Okay talking about it. She had bought a domino set and a cutting board from me, which I'm not sure if she's picked up yet. I'm sure she'll get it anytime soon. But it is sitting at her post office. So I'm almost wanting to do something like to decorate the top of that. I don't know. I don't want just some. I don't want it to be just a blob up there, but I don't want to get overly fancy with it either. I have got so many beads, and I think some of you have seen my videos before. Different bead stuff. So yeah, I've got a lot of them. So yeah, I'll figure out something to put on the top of that. And I do think that, like, that one probably just sits, I'm assuming, it just sits like that, just kind of lean it up against the side. Put your little candle in there. So I've got that black one made. I've got a blue set made, the same design, just blue. And I've got this set made. It's kind of clear with blue kind of swirled through it, which I thought was really pretty. Turned out really nice. And I've got a black and red set. But as you guys can see, somebody had Be Okay had said something to me about doing a chess set, because I was really hesitant on doing one because my husband really didn't think they would sell. But Be Okay said that she'd be interested in seeing one. So I am actually working on a chess set. These are my one set of pieces, red and black. And then the other set, the colors will just be reversed, and the black will be the main color and the red will be on the bottom. And I have let me grab it here. My first chessboard. Yay! Didn't turn out too awful bad. So, yes, that is my first set. And each set will actually comes with, that's what I get for sticking them on top of each other until they were completely dry. Each set will come with a set of checkers as well, black and red checkers. So yeah, I've got that going. So yeah, I'm just trying to kind of finish up a few things, put some things together. I've got a few things to decorate. Thank you very much, Joy. Being that that was the first one I actually completed, I'm pretty proud of it. Now this set here, these guys, the red and black, I have to redo two of these little guys, because these guys are very, very tricky to get them to turn out properly. Because if you don't get every single air bubble out of them, the mold, whenever you're before they start setting up, your top little bubble piece up here will pop off. So yeah, when I was unmolding those, I had two of them that the heads popped off. So I have to redo two of those. But I do have an extra set of the chess pieces that I had got from Temu when I had originally started thinking about doing a chess set. So I do have a lot of extras of these. So when I pour those today, the bottom part of the black ones, I can go ahead and pour me two more of the red ones. That way I'm not way behind on everything. I don't know if I showed you guys these. I actually finally got my business cards. I'm pretty proud of those. So every time I know it's all backwards. It says M&M Crafts, customizable creations, and my name and phone number. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with those. So every order that is sent out or sold gets a business card. So that way, if anybody is interested in anything in the future or knows anybody that's looking for something, they can get a hold of me. Yeah. So, but yeah, I am, like I said, I'm just trying to, I don't know really that I'm really starting anything else. Well, I shouldn't say that. I am slowly starting coaster sets for my daughter. She's got 6 children. 5 of them are in school. Hello, Pauline. Hi, sweetheart. But 6 of them are in school. And sometime the beginning of next month is Teacher Appreciation Day. So she was trying to think of something for the kids to give to their teachers, and she thought it would be really cute just to have a coaster set made for each one of them. And so we were trying to think of colors, different things, something unusual maybe. And so I had this set, and she said if we could just do it clear. Now I have like little letters inside there, which I thought would be very fitting for teachers. And then the coasters themselves, some of you may remember these. I had showed these, I think I had made one back when I first started getting into resin and doing my videos and stuff. But what this is it's a shaker type thing. And hello, Soul Star. Thank you for coming in, honey. I appreciate having you here. But what these are is the inside of this piece, it would be the bottom piece, is hollow. And then you fill it with glitter. We thought it'd be cute to do like, what's some things for teachers, like the little letters that I have, little numbers, glitter stuffs, maybe even some paper clips, things like that, things that teachers use. But they would have to be small things to be able to fit in there. And then it's got a flat one that you put over the top. And then that way you can just shake it and the little things just shake around in your coaster. And then it just sits inside your little thing like that, little holder. So I'm slowly working on those. I want to get this first set done so she can see it and make sure that that's really what she wants. I did some stuff the other day and had some black left over. So I did a round coaster set, and I don't know if you can see those, but each one of them have, if you guys can see that, like a holographic effect on it. So I did a set of those. And that one's easier to catch. Yeah. I always thought these were pretty cool. So I just did a set of those, and I'll kind of put those to the side, probably put those in the sale. I still need to finish my spider. He's still kind of laying here in pieces. Still haven't finished my earrings and stuff. I am so horrible at finishing things. I always start things, yeah, and I have to push myself to finish them. I'm really bad at that. Thank goodness I have a hubby that reminds me on a regular basis, you need to be up there, you know, you're going to be selling this stuff, you need to be up there making this stuff. I think with the flooding and the storms that we've had and stuff lately. Hello, Tina. Thank you for coming in, honey. Yeah, Pauline, it's like a little teacup or a little coffee cup, yeah. But he reminds me on a regular basis, you know, if you're going to be selling this stuff, you need to be up there working on it, and you need to actually take time and finish things. I get so many ideas jumbled in my head all at once, and I'm starting way too many projects at one time, and I have to really stop doing that. I'm really bad at that, because then I have 50 different things laying there started, but not finished. So yeah, before we have this sale, I really need to finish a lot of these. I think I've got a couple more boxes for my domino sets, extra sets that I have. Even when I'm trying something new, I don't finish it. I know I'm terrible at it. I am terrible at it. I need to discipline myself a little bit better to, whenever I sit and start something, to finish it before I go on and start something else. That way I won't drive my husband crazy, and I won't drive myself crazy. So I think we are all guilty of that in so many ways. Yeah, Joy, I'm telling you. We are creatures of habit, aren't we? I think we all have little things that we start and just our minds get occupied with other things. I can't blame it on ADHD because I don't have that, so I can't blame it on something else. It's just my mind just tends to wander onto way too many projects. Way too many projects. So I think anytime I see something new or something else I want to try, I just kind of put aside whatever I'm working on, and yeah, the other stuff just sits there. I'm always excited to start, but finishing. Yeah, I'm always excited to start something, but I need to really discipline myself a lot more with the finishing things. So I am really excited about the town having this sale coming up. Like I've said in some of my other videos, we live in a very, very tiny little house. So with me and my husband, we have a lot of stuff, and a lot of it, I think the vast majority of what we have is music instruments and amps and all that kind of good, happy stuff. A lot of you have seen my guitar collection. I think I have a picture of it on my community page. Hey, Trini. Thank you for coming in, honey. How have you been doing? How have you been? But yeah, we actually got rid of a couple things out of the house the other day, which really excited me because my whole living room just opened up, and Kevin's still kind of confused about it. He isn't sure he's in the right house. Still keeps kind of looking around like, am I in the right place here? But, well, I am very, very well. Thank you, darling. Thank you for asking. We were just talking. I need to, well, I don't know about this goofy little thing here. It's just not wanting to stay together very well. I don't know. I'll have to work on that a little bit. It's a tricky little thing. But yeah, starting projects and not finishing them. Kevin is good. Right now he's sleeping and taking a little nap. He takes a lot of naps. But of course they say, small dogs are very good at 15, 16 hours of sleep a day. If only, right? We could never get away with that, unfortunately. How do you like that? It sticks in the bottom of my cup. That's what you get when you leave stuff in the bottom of your mixing cups. Thank goodness it just peels out. But we had my daughter and granddaughter over yesterday, and anytime they come over, Nana loves having her there, but I tell you what, she will wear you out. She will definitely wear you out. So, yes, me and Kevin both were exhausted yesterday. Usually takes him a couple extra days to get past it. I don't have that luxury of taking a couple days to get past it. Usually I get one day, and then I'm off to whatever else needs to be done. And so yes, that is why I am up here today. I had yesterday afternoon to relax, and that is about the extent of my resting time. Our kids don't quite understand why grandma and grandpa would possibly get tired from, grandkids being over. But we do. They are, we love them to pieces, but man, I completely understand why we have kids at a young age, and we are supposed to relax when we get older. Because, yeah, I just don't have the stamina to keep up with them more than just a couple hours. I just don't. So, we are coming up on the weekend. Does anybody have anything fun going on for this weekend? Anything planned? Me and my husband are going to go out Friday. We have a favorite Mexican restaurant over in the next town over, and we're going to go over there and have dinner. We haven't been over there for a good while, and we usually go on the motorcycle. So we're hoping for, I know the next while it's supposed to be warm. I think today's supposed to be a high of 73. I feel you. I will tell my kids to come pick up your package. Yeah. Sometimes my kids will push it to the last second. And I'm like, I get it. You guys need a break from your kids too, but you ought to stop and think of how tired you guys get taking care of those kids. And I said, add about 30 years of age on top of it. Yeah, it gets overly exhausting. It really does. So, just can't quite get them to understand that yet, for some strange reason. So, gonna just finish up a few things up here today, and then I have a little bit of cleaning downstairs. That's the job I do. I think a lot of you know that. Let me kind of move you over here if I can. I have a cleaning service that I do, and I work for the Chamber of Commerce in our town, and I clean up their offices and stuff like that. Usually Saturdays are my main cleaning day, but if they have an event or something like that the day before, then I will usually go through and do a little bit of extra cleaning, just to make sure everything is back where it's supposed to be and nobody boo-booed and dumped anything on the floor, anything like that. So just to keep it, and it's so funny, God love them, because whenever they hired me, I think I got the job simply my husband works, his business is just down the stairs from where the main office of the Chamber of Commerce is. And so, they've known him for a good while. So, whenever me and him got married, they got to know me. And I think to them, it was probably a lot more convenient just hiring me, since I was up here every day anyhow with him. So it just made it a lot easier for them, which I have no problem with. I mean, none of it's hard work, it's just cleaning stuff up, make sure the floors stay clean. And of course you got to clean up the bathrooms. Sometimes that's fun. But, I have to laugh sometimes because they told me whenever they first hired me, they said, you know, we're not really particular. We're not like clean fanatics or anything like that. You know, just make sure it looks clean. And they weren't kidding, because some of them, yeah, I've seen public bathrooms cleaner than some of them are. So, I mean, God love them, I do. They're wonderful ladies to work with, but for women, it just really kind of questionable on cleanliness. So, yeah, but I like the job. Like I said, you know, I was up here every day with Michael anyhow, so, you know, it was an easy job to have. And we just live right down the road here, so it's amazing how you can be right up here. You know, the Chamber of Commerce sits right on the square in the town that we live, and it's so busy and traffic and everything like that, and you go down the hill where we live less than a mile away, and it's so quiet. It's really something, the difference. So, yeah, I like it. Hello, Maria. How are you, love? Thank you for coming in. I am well and busy. I was just telling everybody I'm just trying to get some last, well, I've got a lot of things here that I need to finish because we are having a sale, big sale in our town the end of this month, and I would like to put a lot of my craft stuff in that sale. So I have a lot of things that I have to get together and finish up. And I only have one of my lanterns made, so I would kind of like, I have a base made for it, so I do have kind of a start, but it's kind of a black, almost, not black, well, I guess the bottom's black. I don't know why the bottom's black, unless it's so dark brown that it looks black. But the top of it's almost like a chocolate brown color. And so, yeah, I need to finish that one up, and that'll give me 2 of those that I can put in the sale. And I just got, I think pretty much all that stuff over there is finished. I have a few cutting boards that I'm going to put out. Seems like you're busy today. Yeah, I'm just trying to, and of course I got to finish up my chess set. I'm actually thinking about getting little felt things for the bottom of these to stick on that. I'm sure I can find them pretty easy, maybe over at the hardware store or something, just so it doesn't scratch up the board or anything like that. So I'm going to be looking for those. So yeah, just finishing up a lot of stuff so I can put it in the sale and everything. You owned a commercial cleaning business for, we owned a commercial cleaning business for almost 20 years, and trust me, I know exactly what you're talking. Yeah, it's not bad. It is not horrible, but there are times. I would show you, Maria. I would show you. It is just like, you know, I think I showed you guys my domino sets. I don't think I have. Okay, you guys know the dominoes that I make. These are the dominoes. I just put something special on the back of his that he requested. And then, of course, I have the little box that matches it. But I told him I wouldn't show anybody the finished product until he gets it. And then that way he can, on one of his lives or whatever, then he can show you guys the finished product. So, but yeah, I had a, give me a second here, guys. A red set that I did of the dominoes. I don't know if you guys remember these. Just grab a couple of them here. They were just clear, and then they have like a red glitter inside of them. So that's the set. And then I didn't have a box. This was made before I had the mold for the box. And so these have just been kind of laying off to the side right now over on a shelf. And so the other day I had poured a red box. It's got kind of, it's just red and it's got red glitter in it. I know it's kind of hard to see in there. But yeah, this will be for that set. So I have to get this put together as well. Which these are easy enough, you know, they just kind of, it's like putting a puzzle together, and then you just glue it all together. And then I have a set as well that I had done that I have to make a box for. And it's just a clear set, and then they've got little flowers. This has got little flowers in it. See the little flowers in there? So I need to make a box for this set yet too. So that will give me a couple of the domino sets that I can put out in the sale, just so people can kind of see them and get an idea. What, you know, what I can make, or, you know, whatever. I was hoping to have the mold for one of my dogs or cats, something like that. But I can show, like I was telling you guys, I want to do the memorial things for your pets, for people's pets. So I was hoping to have the dog and cat and have some of those made beforehand, just so people can see them. But I don't have that as of yet. So that's kind of a work in progress until I get that set ordered. Yeah. You always have to make sure your pieces are going the right directions. And that's not right because, yeah, this one has to go. You're going to have things all backwards. And what's funny about these two is, like the one I made that Reds wanted, it was one of my first sets, one of my first boxes that I made. I'm just going to call you Kumar because I don't know how to pronounce that first part, honey. But I remember seeing you this morning. I think it was on Chuck's page. Thank you for coming in. This is resin stuff that I make. This is actually for a domino set, and this is a box that the dominoes go in. So yeah, you have to kind of fit it all together like a big puzzle and then glue the tar out of it. And, but the one that I made for Reds the lid wouldn't open and close correctly, which, you know, I think I've showed you guys this before, I can't remember. That if you see the sides that the lid goes in, they're round, okay? And hello, Joshua, thank you for coming in. You guys, can you two let me know, Kumar and Joshua, can you let me know where you're from? I know I've seen both of you before. But then the lid, the piece that goes into the circle, is a square. So go figure, you know, why would you make a square piece to fit into a circular piece? Beyond me, I don't know. It does make it a little bit tougher to get it to open and close. So what I've been having to do is take my sander before I put the lid on and kind of round these off a little bit. So yeah, I have to sand that and then glue it all together. So you're in Arkansas. Nice. Is it warm there or is it still cold there? I don't know a whole lot about Arkansas, so forgive me. I know it's in the United States. I do know that. I went 6 years ago. I went on a big cross-country trip with my parents and my nephew, my youngest nephew, one of my older nephews. Well, not older than me, but one of the oldest nephews that I have was getting married, and he lived in California. And so I took a trip with all of them out to California for his wedding. And we may have gone through Arkansas. I'm not really sure. We went through a lot of states because on the way out, we kind of went south and down through Texas and then hit California. But then we kind of came north and kind of did a big, arch coming across on the way back to Ohio. So we did go through a whole lot of states. Just can't quite remember what all states we did go through. I do remember that we seen the Grand Canyon. That was pretty spectacular. And what else did we get to see? The Mount Rushmore I got to see. And there's one with a giant Indian guy statue that they're carving in a mountain. I can't remember. Can't remember where he's from either, or where that is. But we went through there. I got to see that. And some big city that does something with corn. Corn's a real big thing that they have. Like the whole town is everything corn. I don't know what that's all about, but that's their thing. So yeah, we got to see a lot of things. Have you been to theme parks in California? No, I haven't got to go to any theme parks in California. Even when we went, I was 49, just about 50 years old when I went out there with them. So I'm, me and my are, if I'm 50 something, you can imagine the age of my parents. We're kind of beyond the theme park stage now. I like thrilling things, but not quite to that extent. In California, it was basically, we were there for the wedding, so we didn't do a whole lot in the state of California. We had some family in Texas that we visited when we went through Texas. And there was actually, when we had gone through Texas, there was actually a huge forest fire. And so, some of the towns that we went through was, thank goodness it was during the middle of the night. but it was nothing but smoke, so you couldn't see anything anyhow, and you had to keep your windows up so you could even breathe, because everything was so covered with smoke. So, Joshua, you were on my lives before, weren't you? We had talked a little bit about Disneyland. Am I thinking of the right person? My memory isn't the greatest anymore. But yeah, just remind me if you are the same young man that was talking to me about Disneyland. It is the same me, Melissa. Good. Glad to have you back, Joshua. How have you been? How have you been? We had talked about Disneyland, and just a couple weeks ago, I had one of my oldest granddaughters went to Florida. So I'm not sure which one, Disneyland, Disney World, which one is down in Florida. But she got to go to that. She went down there for a trip with her aunt and uncle through her dad's side. And so they went to Disneyland or Disney World, whichever one it was. And she got to go. So she was pretty excited about that. So yes, we do have at least one in the family that got to go. Right now, Joshua, I am just kind of stuff up some of my molds that I need to use to finish up some projects here. Like I was telling the others, our town is having its town yard sales. And I am trying to get a lot of stuff together that we either want to get rid of. I haven't really had a chance, Joshua, to ask her, because as soon as she came back, of course, she had to go back to school and stuff like that. So I really haven't had a chance to see her and ask her what all she got to do while she was down there. So yeah, next time I see you, hopefully I will have had a chance to talk to her and ask her if she got to see a light parade down there, or what all she got to do. I know she got, she was tickled because she got to buy she had the little Minnie Mouse ears and got to wear that around all day, and she got a giant Stitch doll. Some of you know who Stitch is and some of you don't. It's just some cartoon character thing that kids go nuts over around here. So she did get a giant Stitch doll. She was happy about that. So, but yeah, hopefully the next time I see you, hopefully I will have had a chance to talk to her and ask her what all she got to do down there. So I'm going to set this aside for now, and I'm going to actually mix up some resin because I have a few things. Well, she's only 13 years old, so she's not on social media herself a whole lot. And I abide by mommy and daddy's rules, and I don't post a whole lot about them without their permission or anything like that. So uh, yeah, I will say something to her and see what all she got to do while she was down there. And I will remember to ask her if she got to see a light parade. I am sticky. Now it's funny because the last time I had poured stuff with the resin, it took me so long to pour the chess pieces that I had to just find some things very, very quickly to pour the rest of it in, because what I had left in my mixing bowl here started setting up, and it started getting very thick and hard to work with. So yeah, I had to come up with things very quickly on what to use it for. How come you have never seen it yet? Seen what, Disneyland? Well, we just never never had the money when we were kids. We didn't have the money. We had 5 kids in our family, and you know, our families, both parents worked and struggled enough just to keep food on the table and a roof over our head and stuff like that. So taking a family of 7 to Disney World or anything was just not in the cards. And then I had my first child at 18 and got married, and so then it was just raising my own children. And we would go to places when my children got old enough. We would go to places like Cedar Point once in a while, stuff like that. But Disneyland and all that stuff was a little bit out of our price range, especially because we have always lived in Ohio. So also the traveling expense was just not in the cards for us, which I was fine with. I didn't have no problem with that. And now that I am old and married, and you know, now I really have no interest in going to Disney anything. I have a whole lot other things that I could spend my money on. We're more partial to taking trips to like South Carolina and stuff like that, and just we go down there with his nephew and be by the beach and relax, and we kind of like the quiet now. So I might send you a video of that Disney Starlight Parade. Okay, you go ahead. You can send me that. Maybe go through my community page or something. I don't know. But yeah, just at my age, it's just not something that holds a lot of interest for me. We're more into quiet vacations, weekends, or a week of vacation that we can just kind of sit back and relax, hopefully by a pool or the ocean, something like that, and just enjoy the quiet. So you can mention me in your post. Okay, you do that. You do that, and I will definitely check it out. I know this is kind of the boring part whenever you guys sit there and stir and stir and stir and stir. You got to make sure it's all stirred together well. I still just use a 50-50 mix. I get it's Osbang, my resin stuff. You got a part A and a part B. So it's still just a 50-50 mix. And the biggest thing is getting it exactly 50-50, and like I've said before, make sure you stir and stir and stir, because you have to have it stirred in together very well, or it will not harden. And they have definitely, excuse me for a second, they have definitely got the heat on in here today. Woo! Might end up having to turn a fan on just because it's so hot in here. I really don't suggest doing that, eating or drinking something whenever you're working on resin. Kind of a, if you're going to do resin, please be careful. And we always suggest people wear a mask. Always wear gloves on your hands to protect your hands. Not because it's going to do anything to your hands, but because it is extremely sticky. But we do suggest to people that they wear a mask because of the fumes of the resin. But it is a very, very large room, and it is very well ventilated as well. And because of past experiences, if I put something over my face, I feel like I'm suffocating. So I don't wear a mask. So I know, shame on me. But it's just not something I've been able to do. So yeah, now we are just going to mix up some what are we mixing? We are mixing red to do the bottom part of our chess pieces. Actually, I have had some bad luck the last while with just dumping it in there because I've over dumped and you get mica powder everywhere. And mica powder, as wonderful as it is, it sticks to everything. It really does. So yeah, you want to be kind of careful. And whenever you first start mixing it, also you want to kind of shove it down in the resin before you start stirring it. If not, it's going to kind of cloud up and poof up on you. So yeah, you just have to be kind of careful how you do things. I know some people just take it and kind of, but you can get, it's hard to do, but you can get too much resin in your, or too much mica powder into your resin, which will cause it not to set up properly too. So you really want to be careful how much you use. You don't want to go overboard with it. So I'm hoping to be able to get several things finished or poured today to get, like I said, I have that lamp that I need to do the rest of the pieces for. Finish my chess set. And what else do I need to do? Oh, I said I need to do another box for that other domino set. So hopefully I can get that poured today. Um, one of the big things too with having so much stuff laying around that's not finished is it takes up a lot of my room, that I could lay more stuff out, and right now it's kind of everywhere. Shame on me, I know, it's terrible. So, but I do have all my pieces here that I need for my lantern. I don't need this guy because I've already got that part made, so I don't need to pour him. But I do need those and those. So yeah, if I can hopefully get it mixed up to the same brown that I have the bottom base piece. Hello, Bev. Thank you for coming in, honey. We are just kind of finishing up some resin pieces and talking. Just kind of gabbing. And another suggestion too, whenever you do resin, is if you can, after you have mixed your resin, you can go ahead and put your mica powder in it, but even leave it sit for a minute or two, couple minutes, whatever, just so, it kind of settles and some of the air bubbles will come to the top, and you can get rid of those before you go pouring it. So, yeah, I've been just kind of slowly messing with it while I've been talking. So, I think we are good here, and I'll tell you what, I am going to see if I can turn you guys over here so you can see what I'm doing. I will be over here, so I'm not going to be able to see messages for a minute. So just let me get the base of these poured here quick. I am just absolutely obsessed over this red color that I have going on here. They call it kind of I think that it's called ruby red. So yes, it is absolutely beautiful. But that is also why I have it on a board. For one, because I completely leveled this out to make sure it is a completely flat surface. Anything that you put your molds onto, when you are pouring them, you always want to make sure your surface is completely level. So I have a level around here somewhere that I use to make sure that my surfaces are flat. If you don't do that, then you end up with very uneven pieces. And you definitely want, especially if you want something that is meant to be flat, you want it as level as absolutely possible. Sorry about that noise, guys. So there's all those pieces. Please don't laugh at me. That is one of the things about being old is when you plan on getting down on the floor, always make sure you have a good plan to get back up. Yeah, because it's not fun trying to get yourself back up off the floor. It's a little bit tricky sometimes. So I do have that finished. I do need to see, because I'm not quite sure. There's my flat piece for my coffee cup. That'll go over the top. So I do need to get one of those poured today as well. Not sure what I did with my first chess set. I don't know if I ever showed you guys. Inside my drawer. As you can see, I have pieces kind of all over the place that I've used. But this is my drawer of wonders. All my mold pieces and stuff like that. And I know somebody probably yell at me and say, you need to put those somewhere better than that so they're flat. But right now, this is what I have. And some of my bigger pieces, as you can see, I sit in my bottle on, my resin bottles. That way, heaven forbid, anything is dripping or anything like that. I don't have to there. Okay, I think we're good. Now you won't hear any more phone calls coming through. So yeah, that's what I have right now. And like I said, this is not my space. I don't own this space. I don't rent this space. This was given to me out of kindness. So yes, I am very grateful to have this space. So I am very, very cautious what happens to anything in this space. I don't need stuff getting all over the carpets and things like that. So yeah. Jules Castle, hello, how are you? Welcome in. Good to have you in here. You could check your mentions in your notifications. Okay, Joshua, I will do that. I will definitely do that. Let's see, I have some red left. If I could figure out what I did with my first set of chess pieces, I could pour the 2 red pawns that I need, that broke on me. Give me a second, guys. I'm just kind of gandering around here. I have stuff everywhere, unfortunately. No, that's tape. I've got a lot of seashells too. Wow. I didn't realize I had so many seashells. Okay. Anyhow, I will find them eventually. I will almost guarantee I'll find them today. Just I don't know where they are as of right now. So yeah. I like your name, Bev. Bev is a very nice name. It is. I like it. I have a very good friend of mine actually that lives in our town, and her name is Bev. So anyhow, I got to put the red aside for right now until I decide what to do with the red. I can always mix up a little bit more red if I need to later, because it shouldn't take more than just a tiny little amount to finish those up. Trying to think of no, I've got 3 of those made. What else I can make that's red? Actually, let's make I've got a black clear spider, well, 2 black spiders. Let's make a red spider. How about that? And that way we can get this red used up. Of course, then I have to question whether I'm going to have enough to finish filling this up. See, if I was a little bit more, I don't know, professional like some of them, I would know how much each mold holds, and I wouldn't be so wishy-washy, I guess, about how much mold I mix up, or how much resin I mix up for things. But I just don't, I'm not quite that professional with it yet, guys. And I'm just kind of one of those fly by the seat of my pants kind of gals anyhow. So I don't know if I'll ever be that professional with it. I always tell my husband that if it starts to feel too much like something I have to do, then I lose interest in it, because to me, when you do crafts, crafts is supposed to be fun. Um, you know, so it shouldn't feel like it's work. It shouldn't feel like it's something, oh, I have to get this done. Um, or to me, it just kind of loses its fun. Does anybody else have that same problem? I just truly believe that craft stuff, when you do craft things, it's supposed to be something you enjoy doing. It should never feel like work. And I enjoy doing craft stuff enough that, you know, I don't ever want it to feel like I'm being forced to do something, if that makes sense. Yes, I agree 100%. I have a job, and crafting is my piece from the job. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My craft room, um, even though I sell the stuff, it's still, um, it has to remain fun for me. It I had done a few other crafting things in the past where all of a sudden it was, you have to get this done, you have to get that done, and you know, then all of a sudden it started feeling more like I was being forced to do it, and I just lost interest in it. So, you know, go figure. Okay, I am going to move my coaster set over here out of the way, and going to lay my flat set down here. Move these guys over there too. Laid my flat one down there so I can definitely get that poured. Um, so whenever that is set up and hard, then I can go ahead. Now with, like I was saying, with those shakers, um, for the coasters, there's people that just put stuff in them to shake them, and then there's other people that put liquid in them to shake them. Now, of course, I have, and I only ever did two. I did the one that I sent to be okay, and then I have the one that I did for myself. And of course, you learn by making mistakes. Mine was the first one I ever did. And I found out that to make a shaker and actually get the stuff to float, it's hard to see it floating, but it's just like gold glitter in there floating around. You have to add glycerin. It's kind of a 50-50 mix between glycerin and water. That way, kind of like the water is heavier, and then that way everything floats in it. If you don't put the glycerin in it, anything that you put in it to float is basically just going to sink to the bottom or float to the top, and you're not going to get anything. Seeing kind of how my glitter hung, you know, it took a while before it started falling. It was falling very slowly. I did that the first time with just water, and everything just clumped up at the top, and then gradually it started all falling down to the bottom. But you got there was no floaties, anything. Hey, lady on the road, but watching as I can. Hello, darling. How are you? How are you doing? How is your day going? Out and about, running around. I seen a couple of your videos this morning. I was watching. And you were in a co-op store, which was pretty cool. They've got some pretty neat food in them places. We don't have stores. I mean, I'm sure in some of the bigger cities around our area, I'm sure they probably do, but not where I'm at. So be okay. I wanted to show you this. I started a chess set. Those are my first pieces. My second pieces are down there getting hard as we speak. I just poured the tops on those. And I did my chessboard. So that's my first chessboard. So, yeah. I'm getting the rest of the pieces, and then, of course, they all come with a set of checkers as well. Yeah. So, I know you had said something to me about seeing one finished, and my daughter Barbara, she's already sent me pictures of one that she wants, and hers will actually be blue, kind of like a clear blue. I don't know if this is, no, lighter than this, more see-through than this. About this color, but more see-through than that. On, like, you take the chessboard. Sorry, guys. Ugh. Take the chessboard and divide it from corner to corner. And one side will be like the clear blue, almost like water. And then you put little seashells and stuff in certain squares. And then the other corner of it over on this side will be sand. And with seashells and stuff in it. So, and then you kind of do your chess pieces like the blue and tan. So, yeah, I want to do a set of that set for her with the chess pieces. I said something to her that Michael said, you know, chess sets probably wouldn't sell around here, and she's like, I don't think Dad knows what he's talking about, because a lot of people around here play chess. I don't know if they do or not. I don't know. I know her family likes to play chess. I just found that out. But that doesn't mean a lot of people around here like it. So I'm going to mix up some, see if we can get the right color for that lantern to finish that. I was telling them be okay that still not having picked up the package. That's okay, honey. That's okay. I know you're busy. You're out and about. You're doing what you got to do. You'll get it eventually. I'm not worried about it. I know it's there. So hopefully, with the way they were with one of the last boxes, hopefully it's safe. Because we've seen how it goes. But I know you'll get it eventually. I was showing them this. I put this together earlier. It has these little pieces. These three are glued together. These little pieces here. You can see the little holes and stuff. And then you put a little tea light candle inside there. And then that just kind of sits along the side. But it's just like a little candle holder, and then the light shines out through the holes. So yeah, I was showing them that earlier. I got several different colors of that, but we have the town yard sales at the end of this month, so I am trying to get a lot of these things finished up. Pieces that I've done most of it, but not all of it. So I do have to get everything that's not finished. I have to get it finished. I've got 2 weeks to get this done and get these pieces together and get other stuff together that we are getting rid of at home, stuff we don't want anymore. And that way we can be ready for the yard sale whenever we have them. And it'll be technically my first official sale that I have my art stuff in. Sorry for my chat delays, literally driving and listening on Bluetooth, texting when I stop. You're good. You're good, honey. Yeah, that is no problem. I would rather you be safe. I would rather you be safe than I don't need you texting and driving at the same time. That is never good. I'm naughty, I've done that. But of course, not technically, I have, but I haven't. Because I have kind of talk to text on my phone. Yeah. And so I say what I want to text or whatever. And, but of course you have to double check that before you ever send it, because you can send some pretty nasty stuff. Yeah, I've sent some pretty wicked messages to my mama when she was alive. And, yeah, your mama's one that you don't want to have to explain what you actually, when something didn't come through as what it should have. It's really hard to explain that to mamas, because then they think you're being naughty somehow. Especially my mom. My mom didn't understand a lot of that stuff. She was raised by parents that grew up Amish, and especially older Amish like that, they are very, very naive with a lot of those things. And, when you, for example, when you mean to send the word 6 and it goes through as sex, different things like that. I've had that issue numerous times over the years with my mama. And, you always get the shocked, Melissa! Or Sissy, that's what she called me, was Sissy. That was Mama's name for me. So, yeah. She had to kind of question what I was actually sending her. Didn't come through very politely sometimes. So, yeah. Let me grab. Oh. Got a brown one, so I need. A little bit of glitter in my lantern part. I don't want a whole lot of glitter in there. But yes, you do have to, even with the talk to text thing, you still have to look at what you send before you send it. Yeah. cheese layer, you seeing me? I'm literally screaming your name. I'm sorry. Oh. Oh, you're teasing Be Okay about the whole cheese thing, yeah. Yeah. I thought I was missing something there. That is the only bad thing about this, the mold for the lantern is most molds when you make things, they are very forgiving. They don't have to, I mean, they're okay if you don't completely fill them up to the top. They'll still be okay and work. No pun intended, be okay. Sorry, Felicia. Um, but yeah, there are some of the molds though that when it says that you have to completely fill it up, you literally have to completely fill it up to the top, or it is not, you know, if it's something that it has pieces that have to fit together, they are not going to fit together properly if you do not get it clear to the top of the mold. Um, so yeah, you have to, what I do a lot of times when I make things is I will find videos of other people that has made the same thing, and a lot of times they will give hints, ways to do it better. That really helps a lot. Um, and that is one of the things that I heard a lot of them saying about this lantern mold was you have to make sure it is filled clear to the top of each of the mold pieces, even if it's almost we call it doming. Doming is whenever it's to the top of the mold, but it almost kind of domes over a little bit. Even if you have to go to that place, a lot of times as resin is hardening, it will settle. So you have to, even if you have to dome it up, which of course you have to be very careful with, because you can also get where it goes everywhere. You don't want that either. So yeah, they are tricky. You have to be very careful with some of them. See how close I can get with this guy here. Am I gonna have enough, guys? It looks like I might have exactly enough. I think this is probably one of the first times I have ever done this where I have literally had exactly enough. Of course, it does not help whenever, you know, you decide to dump it all over the side, the outside of it. Check that out. It is clear to the top. I'm pretty proud of myself. I am pretty proud of myself. That is very rare for me to have exactly enough mixed up that I don't have to mix up a little bit more to finish filling something. Yay! It's a little messy, but it's done. Yes. Okay, now I have some resin left. What am I going to do with it? Because I have my chess pieces poured. I still haven't found the other chess pieces, so the original chess. Oh, there they are. Oh my goodness, I'm looking. Didn't look back on the window far enough. Let me see if let me make sure those match. Yep, they do. Yes. I was telling them, be okay, whenever I did my first set here, the red ones, the little pawn guys here, the little tiny guys, if you do not have every single bubble out, you have to, when you put your resin down in your mold like this, you have to fill it up to one of the lines there, and then you have to squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it and pinch it and everything else until you have all the bubbles out. Or whenever you take your piece out, the head's going to pop off. So I've had 2 of them that the heads popped off. So yeah, I need red. So let's use the red one again. See, if I had found that piece a little bit ago, you know what? I just poured it in here. Let's see if we can. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that. See, it's down in the head of it there, the top, but you can see around that rim right there. It's still white. Hello, Wonga lady. How are you, honey? Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. But because that is white, because there is no resin inside there. There's a big old air bubble in there. So we have to sit here and squeeze and pinch and squeeze and pinch and all that to get all your air bubbles to come up and fill all those places in. And I must have missed a couple of them with the first set that I did, and that's why the heads popped off. So I am just tickled to death right now that I had some red resin left. See, now this one here, the resin stopped there and didn't even go down into the head of the piece there. So you have to kind of squeeze it, and pop that air bubble underneath there and try to get it to come down in. Let's see if I can. Oh, here's it. There we go. There it goes. So now it's just slowly draining down inside there. So you have to just keep squeezing and pinching and squeezing and pinching. Whenever you have little tiny pieces like that have little spaces, you have to squeeze and get all those air bubbles out of there, so it all fills in very well. So yeah, whenever you first start with resin, just be very mindful what you start with. You want to start with, they usually suggest doing simple things like coaster sets, are things that are used a lot or sell very well if you're planning on selling things. Bookmarks are another very good thing, um, because they are flat and they sell well. And so just, you want to keep that in mind whenever you go to start uh, learning how to do resin stuff, is you want to keep it as simple as possible um, with your first few projects. And I know if anybody's anything like me, I got so excited about some of it that's how I ended up with all these different molds. I tried so many different things. And they say the best thing to do is literally to find a few simple things to start with and perfect those. There's so many different colors, different patterns that you can do with them, different stuff like that. So, it's not like, everything's going to be the same, because no matter what you do, it's very seldom that two pieces of resin will ever be the same. You can have something, for example, I can have this. It's one of the boxes for the dominoes, a piece of it, and it's a flat surface. So that's something that's very simple to make. But there are so many different patterns and things that you can put in your resin, or your box, whatever, to make them all look different. And you can have two of the exact same pieces side by side, put your resin in it, put coloring in it, whatever, and they will be completely different how they look. So it is almost, like I said, it is almost impossible. Just like, for example, the earrings, the jewelry and stuff like that I've done. Some of them look pretty similar, but you can see different things unless they are one plain, simple color. That's one thing. Obviously, those are all going to be the same. But if you try to put in any kind of design or extra color into it, anything like that, no two are ever going to be exactly alike. It's impossible to do that. So, actually, I have that extra set with the flowers that I need to make a box for. So, while we are sitting here talking about this piece, I'm going to go ahead and fill up this piece, which of course I'll have to mix up a little bit more resin to fill all the pieces for this. And if you're, another suggestion as well, if you're going to use the same bowl or cup or whatever to mix resin again, make sure you scrape out as much as you can possibly get out of it before you mix again. That way it doesn't throw off your measurements whenever you're pouring. A lot of times they say it's easier if you just clean it out first, which they say Dawn dish soap, rubbing alcohol, spray rubbing alcohol in it and clean it out real good. Always good things to have around. As you guys, a lot of you guys know from watching me do this for a while now, always having rubbing alcohol, 90 90% or higher is always the recommended amount for the alcohol that you use. And as you know, that's what is good for removing bubbles and stuff like that. So, trying to see where I'm at here, sorry. Kind of hard to see where my lines are at with the lighting in here. There we go. Didn't mix up quite 20 ounces this time. I just did 16 ounces. Should cover everything I need to pour yet. Hopefully I don't have a whole lot left over. Because I am definitely not pouring any more earrings. I have so many earrings that I have to finish. I'm actually kind of tired of looking at earrings. It's funny. So, I mean, I've gotten molds of things that I really thought looked neat, and I thought it was something that I would really get into making, and then when you make it, you find out that it really does not hold your interest as much as you thought it would. So you kind of put it aside and kind of go off on something else. And I did find out that the jewelry really not my forte, you know, because once you get the earrings and stuff poured and set up and stuff like that, then you have to take all the time to put all the hooks in them, and you know, really not my thing. So I am still going to finish all those that I have, so I can put them in the sale and see if they sell. If they do, it may be something I might have to force myself into liking, because of course you want to make something that you know is going to sell good. But I'll tell you what, guys, you quickly learn what floats your boat. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I've got granddaughters, actually, that love making jewelry. And it's just not, I don't know, it's just not been my thing. I didn't mind doing the keychains. Those were okay. But the earrings, not so much. So, I'm really going to consider giving a lot of my beads and stuff like that I would use for jewelry to my granddaughters, because they're the ones that really enjoys making jewelry and stuff. So, a lot of them will probably go to them. Just so I know, you know, somebody's got them that will use them. Trying to find space for everything to lay out here so I know it's flat. What do you do in Africa? I have noticed that some of my molds that I have, I'm going to actually have to be replacing very soon, because some of them are starting to get scuff marks on them and different things. And they are starting to yellow and kind of get a little bit out of shape. And you don't want that. You want your molds to be in very good condition when you're pouring anything. That way you don't have anything that's misshapen or anything. You know, you don't want the yellowing to end up miscoloring your resin on your project. So there are some of my, like for example, my cutting boards are ones that I am going to have to replace, because those are ones that I've done numerous ones of, and they are getting well worn. So I think I am going to let this sit for a few minutes and add my flowers to it or something to go with that other domino set. But I think I am going to let you guys go and let you get on with your day here. Because whenever I start putting something in these, I'm not really going to be able. I know I'm horrible at focusing up here anyhow, and I am truly sorry about that. Unfortunately, that's kind of one of the things that happens when you're doing this stuff, is you have to focus on what you're doing or you're going to end up with a huge mess. So I do apologize for that. I don't mean to offend anybody. But I am going to let you guys go. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Be okay. And anybody else out there driving around, listening to your phones, please be safe. Be careful. And I will catch you all later. Thanks for coming in, guys.